As I can see, I didn't even have my icon up on the screen. Oh, well, you gotta jump in at some point and get your feet wet. So, this is not gonna be a long stream, it's just kinda me finally testing things out, making sure I can do it. But, I wanted to talk today about the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. I'm sure by now everybody's seen all the episodes, so, but if you haven't, there will be spoilers. So what do I do suggest is, back out now if you do not wanna watch this. Come back. I'm sure this will be still up on, YouTube or Odyssey to watch. Yeah, so the Book of Boba Fett. Now, I will not lie, I have been kinda looking forward to the show since, Boba Fett reemerged on The Mandalorian. Uh, but I will say I have been disappointed. Let's talk about that. I think my biggest issue with this show is that it's mostly a Disney Plus issue, and it's not every show, but it's on most shows. There's this problem with people not being able to, how can I say it, write a beginning, a middle, and an end for the amount of episodes they are given to work. Uh, well, hello, Wolverine. It seems like they go into this thinking that they have more episodes than they really do. It's like you could see it with the first like 4 episodes. They're setting up stuff with Boba Fett. They are kind of like, well, we have to go into his backstory with the Sand People. We have to go into like where how he got out of the Sarlacc pit. We have to go into the reason why he's now taken over Jabba's palace. But they spend so many episodes on it, and then somebody at Lucasfilms must say, "Guess what? You're only getting 7 episodes." Because it feels rushed near the end, like, "Okay, oh, well, we have to really show Boba Fett fighting now, don't we? We have to show, we have to bring in, a protagonist for Boba Fett that he can do battle with, but we're only 2 episodes in only have 2 episodes left now." It's an issue that plagues a lot of the Disney Plus shows. It happened with Loki, it happened with WandaVision. Nobody is sitting down and outlining the story for the short amount of episodes they're giving. And it's just kind of like, yeah, is somebody not telling you exactly how many episodes you're getting? What is it? What is this? Are we just, hoping that people will be just curious enough to see what would happen in the next season? I don't even know if there gonna be a next season of Boba Fett? I have no idea. But, I just noticed this, and it's annoying, and then, like, for the last 2 episodes, they literally rush everything. Like, we need to throw everything in, and they spent an additional 2 episodes focusing on a character who has his own Disney Plus show. He's not even Boba Fett. He's a Mandalorian, but he's not even Boba Fett. It's a convoluted mess. There's a lot of great moments. I mean, come on, who doesn't love Grogu? I love Grogu. I know I'm a girl. He's adorable. What he did with the rant car was just awesome. And then how he cuddles up next to the rant car when he gets tired and goes to sleep. It's too cute. But really, why am I seeing Grogu on the Boba Fett show? Why am I seeing the Mandalorian on the Boba Fett show? And I'm not talking about Boba Fett. It's what's it, Din Djarin? Hope I said that right. It's late at night, so, my body's like, "Are we shutting down soon?" No. But they completely, like, disregard the story they were originally working on to suddenly go, "Hey, remember this guy? Remember the little cute green Yoda lookalike? Yeah, here they are. And you're just like, okay, did we just jump into Mandalorian season 3? Like, what happened with Boba Fett? My other problem is, it's like people forgot who Boba Fett is. Like, Boba Fett is a badass. Okay, this is a guy who is a bounty hunter people feared. He was too complacent in this show. He didn't really do a lot of fighting. I mean, he got tossed around a lot by a Wookiee, but he didn't do like a lot of actual fighting. And it was kind of sad. Uh he depended way too much on Fennec. I feel like she had more of the action scenes, and I know a lot of people say, "Well, what's his name who plays Boba Fett? He's, up there in age now." Well, what's her name is not too far off from him. I'm not dissing her. Heck, I actually applaud her for being able to do what she's still doing. But it was like every time there was a tense scene and suddenly there was combat, he would just kind of like look to Fennec and she would take care of everything. Typical Star Wars Disney. And it's not that I don't like the character of Fennec, but I came here to see Boba Fett, and he's just kind of like in his Bacta tank all the time and sitting on the throne going, "So what should we do, Fennec?" Oh boy. Yeah, it was kind of disappointing. I really was hoping for something more, but instead, again, a convoluted mess. People didn't seem to understand the character they were writing. Again, there were some great moments, like the Rancor scene, him riding in on the Rancor was pretty cool. Didn't think he actually needed the Rancor to do it, he coulda just picked up the ship he had, but okay. Um, it's nice seeing the Mandalorian again, but again, why is he on the Boba Fett show, and why is he getting full episodes dedicated to him and Grogu? It's like Disney knows their moneymaker is that little green cutie. It's like they have no faith in legacy characters. I mean, they've destroyed the other ones. So now they're like, "Well, look, see, we have Boba Fett, but we have no idea what to do with him." And then you bring in finally somebody for him to actually have a physical combat with, Cad Bane. Now look, if I was writing these 7 episodes, and I'm not like some professional writer, but I am a viewer. It's 7 episodes, right? So Cad Bane would have been introduced a lot sooner, just to set up that there's a threat lurking out there for Boba Fett outside of the Syndicate, and that he would actually be fighting someone who was on his level. They rushed that so badly. They just coulda had him, like, the Syndicate talking to them about their problem with Boba Fett and how he wants to end their trade business, and have him going out and just kinda, like, I don't know, strong arming some of the other people on Tatooine and telling them that, they have to show their support for the Syndicate, kind of like build up his character. And I know a lot of people I know say to me, "Well, people know who Cad Bane is." I'm like, people who watch the Clone Wars know who Cad Bane is. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who'll be coming in to watch Boba Fett that maybe didn't watch the Clone Wars, and you could have really introduced this character in live action in a way better way to kind of get them interested in him. But again, that would mean you'd have to develop and outline a story for 7 episodes with a beginning, middle, and end. Uh, Cad Bane. Yeah, I heard a lot of people going, they did really good effects on him. I don't know. I mean, he did look like the character from the Clone Wars, but it wasn't like perfect. It was kind of like, I don't know. It's like you could tell it was CGI, but uh, I don't it didn't look good to me. I felt like it could have been a lot better. Then they brought back other characters from The Mandalorian. Now, let me say, I understand that this is set in the Mandalorian universe, but remember, The Mandalorian is set in the Star Wars universe. It doesn't mean, like, every single character suddenly has to come popping out from The Mandalorian to hang out with, Boba Fett, and I get why they reintroduced the sheriff, because he is on the same planet, and he does have a reason to want to fight the Syndicate. But they kind of left me confused because I got the impression he died, and then at the end of the after credits scene, he's in the back of the tank. I'm sorry, the back of the tank, and I'm like, "So he's not dead." Yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of I was just kind of, like, disappointed with so much in the show. And yet, yes, there was some great scenes. Like, yes, it was great to see Luke Skywalker again after that big finale in The Mandalorian season 2. But there was a part of that that bothered me too. When Luke sits Grogu down and he has the, little metal shirt and then Yoda's lightsaber and tells the kid he has to pick one, seemed really, really out of character for Luke Skywalker. But then again, it's Disney, and I don't think they have any idea who Luke Skywalker is. Luke would never make somebody choose their friends over their training. I mean, did anybody watch Empire Strikes Back that worked on this show? I mean, I have a lot of faith in Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, but you guys are letting me down. I mean, he pretty much told Yoda he was gonna go save his friends. His friends were most important. And I was kinda hoping it was a test for Luke to see if Grogu would do the same as he did, but they kinda never, like, cleared that up, unless it's gonna happen in the next season of The Mandalorian. I just feel like this whole show was just for The Mandalorian. But and then Luke doesn't even have the decency to fly the kid back to Tatooine, he just sends R2. It's like, "Here, take my X-Wing with R2, I'll see you later." But I love his little interactions with that female mechanic. She's hilarious. She does get at some points, it gets a little too much with her, but it was, how could I say, adorable seeing them reunited and R2 getting snarky with her and she getting snarky with R2. And then R2, that was it with R2. He was gone. He drove the X-Wing back. It's like, "Oh, okay, bye." And there was another scene in this, and it is trending right now on Twitter, and I have even replied about it. I've been on a Twitter rant this past few days, and it's not just about the Boba Fett show, or I should say Mandalorian 2.0. Ah, yes. Hi, Gabriel. Yes, Amy is great. There was a scene where the gang of Boba Fett is running away from these robots. They're clearly the ones from the prequel trilogy, and the two, as we call Power Rangers, were helping the Wookiee. Ah, and suddenly the one guy does this spin to shoot at the enemy. Now, it's not that they're running away with their backs facing them. They're actually already facing the shooter when he does this. And I'm just sitting there looking at it, and my brother's watching the episode with me, and he turns and looks at me and goes, "Good God, what was that?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I don't know if he was suddenly gonna go into a dance routine." He was just like, "Spin on his knees, shoot." What? And a lot of people were, like, referencing the lightsaber fights as being like that too. Some of them were cheesy, but like, their spin was to avoid getting hit by the other one's lightsaber. That's how I always looked at it. Okay, Wolverine says, I feel if anyone had actually watched Empire Strikes Back, that would have seen a lot more masters making apprentices doing flips with them on their backs and force lifting things, doing handstands. That would be kind of cool. Hi, Heartless Weeb. Yes, the spin was ridiculous and unnecessary. It was just like if they were had their backs facing them and then did this, he did the spin. Maybe that would make a little more sense. But it was just really, really weird. It was like, huh? And for some reason, like 80s music started playing in my head when I saw that scene. I think I said on Twitter, it's like it feels like Beat It should have been playing when that happened. And then the same group gets all trapped in like this one building and they don't know how to get away from the robot and the Wookiee's wounded and they're like, oh no, what do we do? And suddenly it's up to the girls to save the day. So the girl from the one town the sheriff runs and the girl from the Power Ranger group will get up on that building and we'll shoot them down. Like, so you're telling me none of these other people know how to shoot a gun? Nobody else can go up there and do it. Only these two can. Okay, it's Disney, Star Wars. Yes. Then there was that part where, like, Mando and Bubba were in right outside the club that got blown up, and they're, like, fighting off the guys with the shooting at them, but they're just kinda, like, standing there and let themselves getting hit. Yes, Heartless Weave, Grogu and the Rancor snuggling was super cute. It's, like, one of the few things in this episode I loved. Um, but they're just kinda standing there, and my brother kept saying, "Why don't they use their jetpacks?" It's like they keep forgetting they have jetpacks in this show, like and then finally later when they send that the mayor's, like, gopher out to, like, negotiate with them, then they use their jetpacks. The Power Ranger yeah, the real Power Rangers were way cooler. I think they just got that nickname because of the color of their bikes. They're shiny, clean bikes in a desert planet. Oh, yeah. Shine bright red, blue, green. It was all the colors of the Power Ranger, I believe. I think they're yeah, they look like an '80s punk rock group. I I'm like, they don't even look like Star Wars characters. And then the guy with the cybernetics looked like he was in the wrong sci-fi movie. And then you have this badass Wookiee, and you already take him out, like, but the fight hasn't even been 5 minutes, and he's already too wounded to fight. And Bubba should have killed those other leaders in the town. Fennec was right there too. Yeah, I doubt Mando will save it too. And that's I think they I it feels like when they got to those 2 episodes with Mando, they realized that Boba Fett wasn't working and they said, "Quick, let's get the first 2 episodes of season 3 of Mando and throw it in here to remind people Mando is going to have another season." 2 full episodes dedicated to a character who already has his own show. I've seen people also complain about the special effects with Luke Skywalker. I didn't think it was that bad this time as it was in the finale of Mando, but I don't know. It just kind of that whole thing with Luke Skywalker, I'm like, yes, Disney did do us dirty, Heartless Reeve. Very dirty. The Power Rangers were given shark cycles later on in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, which were way cooler than those Technicolor Rascal scooters. It was. Yeah. And still, shiny, clean scooters in the middle of a desert planet. Also, I know where the chick gets her mascara. Like, they have a makeup store right there. Like it never runs. I know. It's like the best part about this whole show was the two characters who already have their own show. That's the problem. And Fennec doing all the butt kicking while Boba stands there and goes, "Okay, so what else did you want me to do?" I was pumped for Cad Bane, then they took him away, like, "Nah, you can't have nice things." Yeah, I was saying that earlier, Heartless Weeb. I was saying if I wrote this show, he would have been introduced much sooner in the series to kinda set up the upcoming battle between the 2. But yeah, they introduced him at the end of the episode before the finale, and then they offed him. "Hey, yo, just dropping by to leave a like. Can't stay, my team is playing tonight." Good luck with your team. The colors on the bike felt out of place in the Book of Boba Fett. It did. Shiny, bright, clean. It's like, again, like they should have been more on a Coruscant or something. I still don't understand why they didn't just cast Sebastian Stan as Luke and move on, like if we're picking back up after Return of the Jedi, except they screwed that up too. Yeah, and how many years is it supposed to take place after Return of the Jedi? Somebody said 5. And Sebastian Stan is more than open to it. He keeps posting on his Instagram about it. He keeps joking that Mark Hamill's his dad. Yes, the ramp car climbing the building like King Kong was cool. Yeah, that was like my brother said, he feels like they saved all the special effects for the ramp car for that specific scene. The show is a prime example of how petty Disney still is that no one likes their Star Wars. Yeah, it's the member berry trick. They're like, "Oh, look, we have Boba Fett. Look, we brought back Luke." I'm dreading what they're gonna do with the Obi-Wan show because that's coming soon. Oh god. And from what I understand, they're gonna have a kid Princess Leia in it. Why not Luke? Because isn't Obi-Wan hanging out in Tatooine? Again, they don't follow continuity, so who knows? Yeah, those jokes were so heavy, I thought for a while they were heavily hinting, but apparently not. It would've saved a lot of money on CGI, yeah. Yeah, and I think Sebastian could have pulled it off too. I don't know why they didn't use him. Oh, Miss Gabriel. I convinced Bubba was supposed to be Mando season 3, but they had to pivot when Gina Carano got fired because her role was heavier in the original script. That's possible. I also think she was gonna be in that spin-off show about the Rangers, and that was another thing. Old Republic Bake Off comic did so well. Isn't that what we all wanted? No. Heartless Weeb, no. Nobody wanted a Star Wars book about baking. I swear, it's like nobody knows, like, the properties at all. Like, they have no idea what Star Wars is about or anything under the Disney banner anymore. Like, Boba Fett should have been kicking ass, taking names for 7 episodes, okay? People saying, "Oh, no, we don't want you in charge of this." He should have been blowing their heads off because he's Boba Fett. No, he wanted to negotiate and be diplomatic. Fennec looking at him, thinking the same thing I'm thinking while watching this. We had all the Star Wars cooking we needed with the holiday special. Oh god, yeah. Ah, even George Lucas buried that. Even Lucas buried that. Yeah, the holiday special. Disney doesn't know or understand a damn thing about the properties they own. No, and it shows. And what's sad is for the longest time, the MCU was doing really well. And that is even whip, whip, stir whip. Bubba talked too much and took me out of it. Yes, and I know the actor complained about that too. He said he wanted to give more of his lines to Fennec because, well, I don't know, the guy has been around since the prequel trilogy. I think he probably did his research and he was probably standing there on the set going, "Wait, what? This is Bubba Fett. Why are we not why are we not having him kick butt? Why is he doing all this talking? Why is he sitting back and letting Fennec do everything?" Disappointing. And you know what's the sad part? when he was on the last season of, Mandalorian, last season of Mandalorian, he was kicking ass. Like, what happened? I was done with the MCU after Endgame. I was actually done after Infinity War. I was not a big fan of Endgame. I did I didn't like a lot of choices they made in that. They did a lot of things with certain characters that were out of character for that particular person. That's okay, neither Marvel nor DC has known a damn thing about the characters they have for at least 30 years, at least not the people who are in charge now. How is it that the actor playing Boba Fett understands the character better than Disney? I think because he cares and he did his research. I think he really wanted it to work. I mean, he's been there since he played Jango Fett. But, everything's gotta be their way. Screw continuity. They didn't properly redeem Hulk in Endgame. No, they didn't. And they made, Captain America break his promise to Bucky and walk away from everybody to have a life, which is out of character for Captain America. If you know anything about Captain America, he would never walk away if he thought people still needed him, and he knew Bucky needed him because Bucky was he was going for the worst case of PTSD. I mean, it was just like a quick turn. "Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna leave, go to the past, get married, screw everything that's happening here. Hope you figure it out, Buck. See you later." He just got his friend back too. Made no sense. And of course, I don't even wanna talk about Captain Marvel. The only Carol Danvers I know is Miss Marvel. There's little to no redeeming Hulk after they made him a cowering child after getting yeah. I was hoping he'd be the one that kicked Thanos' ass in Endgame. It never happened. He should have been the one that was getting his redemption. They should have stuck to the original idea of Endgame where they killed Captain America in the beginning of the movie. Huh, I haven't heard about that one, but it might have made more sense and, you know, depending on what they had in mind. Heartless Weeb, I can say that most mainstream media for the big two sucks, but Peacemaker is so good. I have not watched that yet. I have it in my queue. I'm trying to catch up on a bunch of stuff, including some anime. I am mostly now watching apps. I don't think I even watch cable anymore. I got rid of most of the Prime channels. I am just sticking to apps. Mostly I watch a lot of Korean dramas. Let me tell you, they're doing a lot of good shows over there. Gotta run. Congrats on your first live stream. You're doing fine. Thank you, Gabriel. See you later. Have a good night. Yeah, I think I, like, backed out a lot on comics a while ago. I think I gave up on Marvel the minute they made Captain America a Hydra agent. You're gonna have Captain America beheaded by Thanos. Huh, sounds gruesome, but again, I'd like to see how they would play it out. I mean, it would make sense to kill Cap because he's their leader and, you know, you wanna make the stakes really high with the final battle against Thanos. They're desperate to get everybody back. It probably would have made more sense for Cap to die more than Black Widow, because with Cap dying, it's gonna affect everybody. Not that I'm, like, putting down Black Widow and her role within the Avengers, but Captain America is also a symbol. So for Thanos to kill Captain America, yeah, that would have struck a nerve. If you're going to specifically apps, try Tubi TV. I'll have to look into that. Heartless Weeb. I gave up on comics from manga, no retcons, no BS, and it's made for everyone. Not Twitter that doesn't even buy the books. I agree. By the way, everybody, if you're looking for another good manga channel besides mine, you should check out Heartless Weeb. Love his channel. Then again, there's little to no redeeming Thor after they made him just a frat bro. Yeah, there was such a drastic change. Like, the first movie made sense to have him feel kind of, like, out of place because he hadn't been on Earth for, like, thousands of years. But then after that, they kinda, like, made him surfer boy. Like, "Oh my god, dude, like, really?" Like the dumb blonde version of a male. You're welcome, Heartless Weeb. Manga's great. I love manga. I just got the Deadpool one. I haven't read it yet. It just came today. Came home and it was waiting for me. So I'm interested to see what the Japanese do with Deadpool. Yeah, like I said, I got out of like the comics when they turned Captain America into a Hydra agent. I got out of DC. I was slowly getting out of DC with New 52. I got back in a little bit more with Rebirth, but then after that, it was like where he goes to the pet store and asks for a horse. Yeah, that was funny. Ragnarok. Ragnarok wasn't bad. It just kind of like detoured from what the other Thor movies were. I mean, everybody knocks Dark World. I didn't think it was overly bad. I think the villains could have been much better in that. Don't mind the background noise. My Labrador is snoring. Like, I liked the relationship between Loki and Thor in Ragnarok. That was funny. Like, he knew at this point, like, he was gonna trick him all the time, so he was just waiting for it. He was just like, "Yeah." The New 52 Rebirth turned me off to DC, but the Black Label line was good. Yeah, yeah, Black Label is good. I only read mainstream comics now if, like, certain channels I watch, like Wes at Thinking Critical, he does the dirty work to read through all the books, so I trust his opinion, so if he tells me something's good, I'll check it out. But when it comes to comic books, I've gotten a lot more into indie lines. Like, I've gotten back into Spawn. I don't know if anybody has been reading the newer Spawn books lately. Yeah, The Dark World wasn't as bad as people think. I mean, it still fit in with the atmosphere of what was set up in the first movie. Yeah, Spawn is great. I don't know if you've been reading King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn. I have to get back over to the comic shop and pick up more of my Spawn. I like that. I have the Keanu Reeves comic, Berserk. I was up until 3:05-ish. Why? Videos? Hi, Comicsgate. I read all types. My favorite right now that I got is a Kickstarter from Iconic Comics is the Common America line. Those books are great. Like, if you like manga, you'll love this. So I highly recommend checking out Common America. I have a new video coming up tomorrow where I review Graham Nolan's Alien Alamo. So check that out tomorrow. No Spawn Low. Sorry for the context. Okay. Okay, so you're up to 3:05 on Spawn. I get it now. I was thinking you were up to 3 in the morning. I was like, "What were you doing?" Ugh, what is everybody reading right now? I have a whole slew of books that came in I have to get through of indies. I backed so many campaigns I forgot. I even backed Alterna's, like, fall campaign, so I have a stack just from Alterna. Speaking of Spawn, I can't tell you how much of my money Todd McFarlane has gotten from me, all the action figures I bought of his. Oh, yeah. I've even gotten his My Hero Academia figures because he does anime figures too. For indie comics, I still read Saga. I just got Saga, the new one. Something is Killing the Children. Oh, Once in Future. I like Once in Future. I have not watched Killing the Children. I'm not watched. Read Killing the Children yet. I have to get it. Like I said, I have a stack of like Gemini mailers here with comics I have backed. So many. So little time. And then I have in my other room a whole stack of manga. Ah, if I could just spend my days reading comics and manga and make money off that, that would be great. Unfortunately, I need the money for the comics and the manga, so I have to have a job. Yeah, Todd McFarlane has some great action figures, but did you see the Robert Patterson figure for the new Batman movie? It is horrible. I have not started Dragon Ball yet. I have it. I have not sat down and read it yet. I will. I promise. I will read Dragon Ball. And in between all this, I'm also trying to catch up on anime. I think on One Piece, I've gotten up to almost to Cake Island. They just left Zao. So, and that's where I'm at on the manga. I'm trying to keep the manga in line where I'm at in the anime. Of course, just got box 4 for One Piece, but I cannot find any of the other boxes still. The great manga shortage is real, people. Yes, the Robert Patterson figure is terrible. What was it? My friend Doc said it looked like, what's his name who plays, Doc Ock in the Spider-Man movies, and it does. It looks more like him than it does Robert Patterson. It's just, oh god. Like, did Todd have to approve that? I mean, how did he let that one get by? Like, who approves his figures? Because usually they're great. I have, like, right now a whole bunch, like I said, like the My Hero Academia ones, and they're on point. I even have some of the DC ones on point. I don't know what happened there, unless Robert Patterson just does not translate the figure well. See, this is how interesting the Book of Boba Fett is. We have just completely turned off the topic. He looks like he belongs on Celebrity Deathmatch. Yes. And what is up with the emo Batman? I know I saw the trailer. I I like the atmosphere of it. I think the Penguin looks pretty awesome, but I don't know about Robert Patterson. I have to see it before I form a final opinion. I also have a bunch of DC Multiverse figures. I have that Nightwing one in here. I have a bunch. Again, I love his figures, but I just still don't know what happened with that one. Kind of feel like they're doing a lot of Batman, just like with the comics. Not that I don't like Batman. If anybody in DC besides Wonder Woman is my favorite is Batman, but I just kind of wish they try to build up more of the other characters. It's like they completely like screwed up Henry Cavill's Superman. They just kind of like dropped that ball and let him just move on to The Witcher. Now CW is going to have a whole bunch more Batman shows coming out. Did you hear about this Gotham Knights? Patterson's Bruce Wayne seems more like Terry McGinnis. Yeah, in a way. Yeah, I agree. He's just, I don't know. Like people people forget like in the comics, during the day he was Bruce Wayne, who was a completely different personality from when he was Batman. And I'm not seeing that in this movie. I know a lot of people are going to argue it's all probably early on in his career as Batman, but ugh. I hate the flashbacks in Boba Fett. I feel like they didn't know what to do with it and mashed a we show idea into one. All wasn't a fan of the Tusken Raiders taking him in and making him one. I know because for some reason there was an article I saw on Twitter that somebody had shared where a person was saying that they had to right the wrong to the Tusken Raiders because for some reason they tying the Tusken Raiders to real life indigenous people, and it's like, no, they're aliens on a different planet. So they felt bad, like they were looked like as these aggressive, murderous creatures. It's like, tell me you never watched Star Wars without telling me you never watched Star Wars. Cavell's Witcher figure looks more like him than his Superman does. Wow, really? I I have to go back and look at the Superman one. But yes, I've seen the Witcher one. It's yeah, it's dead on. And the flashbacks, Heartless Weeb. Yeah, I they didn't have to spend that much time on flashbacks. They could have like sprinkled it along. So you kind of like again, if I wrote the show, I would have had just a little bit of a flashback here and there just to like set up in the end why he decided to take over Jabba's throne. They spend way too much. It's almost like where Arrow got with the flashbacks. After a while, I was just like getting annoyed with that too. I have not watched season 2 of The Witcher. My brother did, and he seemed disappointed. I don't know. I'll get to it. I have so much on my list. What I do wanna watch is that Korean drama, All of Us Are Dead. Kinda reminds me of High School of the Dead, the manga. That looks interesting. Disney's too woke. The street rat gang Bubba hired. They look like a cyberpunk knockoff, yes. To check the boxes and felt forced and out of place. Yeah, it felt like they were in the wrong sci-fi movie. All of Us Are Dead was good. Yeah, I've heard good things, and I heard it was a web comic too. I have webtoons on my iPad. I gotta see. I know it goes by a different name, but yeah, I definitely want to see that. I like Kingdom. I don't know if you've seen that one. That was good too. I'm waiting for the next season on that. It's probably like the Boondocks, where the show got worse. It went on. Yeah, those flashbacks were insane. Let me tell you. It was like and then after a while, it got really, like, over the top with Arrow with the flashbacks, like, he left the island, he went to China. I wait, what? What w why didn't he just go home? What Boondocks was amazing. It's been a while. I haven't watched it in a while. It's kinda like Walking Dead now. I haven't watched it in over a season and a half. I kept watching it longer than I should have. I think I really should have stopped when they killed Carl. That show should have ended a lot sooner than it did. I know this is supposedly its last season. Yeah, I should have. But then I heard a new showrunner came in, and I thought, "Okay, let's see what they're gonna do." But I was still pissed about Carl. And I'm still pissed that there's somebody trying to make Negan a good guy. Season 2 of The Boondocks is the best season in my opinion. Okay. I know they said Obi-Wan, I think, is coming out on May 25th, and I am terrified to see what they're gonna do with that show. I mean, it could turn out to be good. I could be wrong. But I know they're bringing back Hayden Christensen too, so I'm wondering, is he gonna just be Darth Vader? Is Obi gonna have, like, PTSD flashbacks of Anakin? I don't know. I think they're just beating the Star Wars thing to death, and they don't know what to do with it, and they're just trying to milk that cow dry, just like with Marvel. Out of all the Disney Plus Marvel shows, was any of them watchable to you? I think the only one was Hawkeye. WandaVision, again, had the same problem as Boba Fett, just kinda, like, building up, building up, building up, and then they realized, "Oh, crap, we have to finish the show." Loki spent too much time with Loki dealing with his feelings while his female counterpart did everything. Why do I still have Disney Plus? Season 2 of The Boondocks is the best season in my opinion. I have to go back to that show. It's been so long. It's all about merchandise with Disney. That's why Disney milks them to hell and back. Yeah, yeah. But then even then with merchandising, outside of Grogu, what's selling? I mean, look at Galaxy's Edge. All I hear is people complain about, like, why does it have to be the sequel trilogy? At this point, they should just turn Galaxy's Edge all into The Mandalorian. I canceled my Disney Plus because they promised me so much more and let me down. Yeah, I'm getting there. Like I said, I think the only one I kind of like was Hawkeye. 2 years of not much content. Yeah, yeah, and I know they keep using that thing that happened as an excuse. I won't say what because you know how Twitter feels about that. You know, they should have had stuff ready to go by the time they launched. Honestly, they should have had stuff in the can ready to upload the minute they had turned on the app, but they didn't. They didn't execute it well at all. I saw the trailer for Moon Knight. Where's the adult content like PG-13 or God forbid R from Fox? They probably like they probably hid it somewhere in a back corner of a dark studio, never to be seen again. Like they should have done with most of the X-Men movies. God, those X-Men movies. Yes, so I saw the trailer for Moon Knight. Yeah, I know they're completely not going to follow continuity. They're going to change the character some way. I don't know how that character is going to work on Disney Plus. I don't. I have, it's I. Hmm. There's so much they could have put in Disney Plus when it launched, like Buzz Lightyear, Star Command. True. They were too busy editing all and censoring all their library cartoons and movies. Don't want to upset people. How many freaking warnings are on different classics now there? Sucks. Mm. Yeah, they like really, they should have had like something really good waiting for everybody. I liked WandaVision, took a while. Yeah, it took a while. That's the problem. Like again, nobody knows how to develop a show for the amount of episodes they're provided. Loki could have been better. I hated Sylvie. She got on my nerves. Sylvie was annoying. Loki should have been using magic. They actually downgraded him in the MCU. He should be a lot more powerful than they allow him to be. What else is coming up soon? I know that I think they're holding off again on Miss Marvel. Not that I'm looking forward to that. I am not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to Ironheart. I have no idea what Iron Wars is going to be about. There's not really a lot they're coming up with that's interesting. This kind of tells you that Disney doesn't plan long term and just does whatever. Yeah, yeah, they're just banking on the name. They're like, look, it's a Marvel character. Look, it's Star Wars. Yeah, I was done with MCU Loki when it became obvious that the only thing he does is illusions. Talk about a nerf. Yeah. Great show. Sorry I got to go. See you later, Heartless Weeb. I gotta go soon too. But yeah, pretty much Boba Fett was an overall disappointment. Didn't like it. Thought it sucked. There were moments that were great, but again, those moments had nothing to do with the characters that were supposed to be the center of the show. It was more Mandalorian themed. It was like Grogu with his little knocking the Rancor out with his Jedi power and snuggling up next to him was adorable. Yeah. Seeing Luke again was great, but then they ruined that with the whole "you must choose." The WWE does the same thing and just books based on how they feel and sprinkles in nostalgia every once in a while. That's sad. I used to be a fan of the WWE. It's mostly in the '90s and the early 2000s, like when The Rock was still just a wrestler. Yeah, I think because Vince McMahon's gotten too rich. That sucks. No, it's sad though. Like '90s WWE has better story plots than most of these Star Wars shows on at Disney. More drama, more action, more character development. It's like they're afraid to write characters, especially specific characters, in a way that makes them look vulnerable or imperfect. It's like, can Fennec do no wrong? Like, she's kicking everybody's ass, and he's just hanging out back there. So disappointing. Well, WWE has gone to hell now. I think his wife became a politician as part of why it sucks now. Oh, really? Didn't know that. I heard Shane left though recently. I don't know what the reason was, but I heard Shane McMahon left. Hmm. Well, guys, I know this wasn't a long stream. It was me just trying to test out, make sure I can get everything done right. And I wanted to do a little bit of event rant about the Book of Boba Fett, or as I call it, Mandalorian 2.0, because there's nothing about Boba Fett really. Um, I think maybe I'll start trying to do a regular weekly stream if everybody's interested in that. Not sure what type of topics you want me to talk about. If you're new to my channel, every Monday I do manga Monday reviews. And on Friday, tomorrow, I have Indie Friday reviews. And I'm going to be looking at Alien Alamo, so check that out. But yeah, I'd like to keep up the live streams, see what topics I can talk. I'm thinking about having a guest. Gabriel was here earlier, and we want to get together and talk about manga. So that's definitely going to happen soon in the future. On two occasions, Linda McMahon ran for the Senate of Connecticut and lost both times. Okay. I think, was she going for third? Yeah, I know the WWE is based out of Connecticut. I don't know. Whatever. WWE hasn't been the same for a while. I lost interest, like really like interest in the WWE a long time ago. I think everybody now watches what is it, AEW? Mm. Well, like I said, sorry the stream has been so short, but I just wanted to test things out. Um, see what kind of topics we can talk about in the future. Hope you stick around. Please don't forget to hit that like button. And oh, hi, Geek Daddy. You're just coming in as I'm leaving. I'm sorry. How are you? But yeah, I'd like to do more streams. See what I gotta do. But unfortunately, I gotta go soon and get ready for the daily grind tomorrow. But I do appreciate everybody coming for my first live stream, and I want to thank all of you for getting me over 300 subscribers. Hopefully, if we get to 500, I'd like to do something special, which I'm thinking about. But I do appreciate everybody. Um, and again, Mondays, Monday manga reviews. Friday is Indie Friday. Gonna review Alien Alamo tomorrow. see what it brings, huh? Gonna check out some anime. I'm thinking about doing a Patreon, so I'll let you know about that too as well. But I am going to get going. I hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you for coming on, and I will talk to you soon. All right? Bye.